Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in early. You can go ahead and take your mask off. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. We'll be starting here in just a few moments, okay?
Okay.
You're a little
fine.
early, and that's fine.
Thank
You need to take your hat off, too, once we get started. All right, I'll see you in just a couple minutes. Thank you for coming in. Luis Alberto Orozco Ramos. Today's Thursday morning and June is gone. It's July 1st. Several people are off on vacation today. We're up and running with a full arraignment docket. Good morning. Can you hear me? Just about. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
All right, I'm going to put you in the waiting room. I'll bring you in just a minute, okay?
Okay.
Oh, let's see what the deal is here. I don't know. All right, people are signing in. That's a good thing. We'll start right at 8:15. A lot of driving cases today and every day. Here's a telephone number. Let's see who they are. Good morning. This is Judge
Hey,
Middleton.
good morning.
In Centerville. Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Jonah Bogart.
All right, Mr. Bogart, let me give you a name. Do you have the ability to do video?
I do not, brother. This is the only phone I could get.
All right, well, stay right where you are. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm about to bring a number of other people in.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll put you in the waiting room for just a minute or two.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Bogart, joint. East Moline, Illinois. Turn the record on. It is 8:14. Okay, we've got 3 customers here out of about 10. Bring them all in. Good morning, everyone. Here's another clip coming in.
Good morning.
Brandon Butita. This is Judge Middleton. I'm at the courthouse here in Centerville. You're calling from various places like down the hall or Moline, Illinois, or Sturgis. You're here for what's called an arraignment. The arraignment is the process where the judge tells you what you're charged with and asks you how you wish to plead to the charge. We just brought in our Chief Public Defender, Keith Stickley, who's having his breakfast, and he'll be here to assist us. Hopefully a prosecutor will join us, but I'm afraid they won't. Anyway, you're the first group to check in. Everyone that checks in from here on out is going to be late. But let's just get right to it. Let's start with Shanta Lachelle Adams. Ms. Adams, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You've been charged with a felony offense of resisting or obstructing a police officer. That is a felony in Michigan, punishable by up to 2 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $1,000. Requires, well, that's it. Because it is a felony, I don't have jurisdiction to take your plea. I'm going to show that you plead not guilty. Going to appoint an attorney for you. I'm going to appoint attorney Tim George, who's right there in Sturgis.
Okay.
I'm going to set what's called a pre-exam conference for July 13th at 9 o'clock. And a preliminary examination, if it is needed, will be July 20th. I won't be here on July 20th, but if it's necessary, it'll be July 20th at 1 o'clock. So we're going to send you some paperwork that gives you the name and number of your attorney. I want you to call him and make an appointment to discuss this with him prior to the 13th of July. Are you still on Maple Street in Sturgis?
Yes.
You have an unpaid booking fee. You could make life easier to take care of that while it's still $12. It goes up exponentially. But other than that, this is all I see that's open for you. So I don't know anything about this other than it allegedly occurred on June 19th, 2021 in Sturgis. So I'm showing that you're pleading not guilty. We'll send you the information regarding your attorney. You call him and make an appointment. The July 13th hearing, I think at that point will still be virtual. We're shifting into live court, but you're going to get a virtual notice to appear just like you did this morning. All right, you're good to go. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you. I'll just release you from the feed here. Okay. Now we've got Brandon Willard Butita, who's upside down, sideways, and in the driver's seat of his car on a driving suspended charge.
No, sir. I'm just sitting in the car. I'm at work.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I don't know whether it's your car or you drove it there or not, but it's not moving. But you're charged with driving without a valid license. This is file 211309ST. It's alleged that on or about June 24th, let's pull this up, take a look at the ticket. At Centerville, Constantine, and 7th Road, you got pulled over for going back to the future at 85 miles an hour, 2002 Yamaha, without a cycle endorsement, no insurance, and no license. So you're charged with no license ever applied, and that's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. You're also charged with having no proof of insurance, which is a civil infraction. Chief Public Defender Keith Stickley is here. Mr. Stickley, do you have any plea offer from the prosecutor?
I am looking, Your Honor. I do not have any that I see unless they are, unless there's another different one in the tree, file tree, but I don't believe so.
The prosecutor used to appear here at these arraignments and do what was called an instant pretrial, and they would meet with you and say, all right, for example, we'll dismiss the no proof of insurance if you now have insurance. And oh boy, We just had a power blip,
I saw that.
so my computer's out. So give me a minute, I gotta restart everything.
You're fine.
Maybe a squirrel bit a transformer. Wow, this is bad. Okay, let's see how much we lost while we went out. Keith, can you hear me?
Hello?
I'm still here. I gotta turn everything back on, so give me a minute.
Oh, no, you're fine. It just, it said that I was the host now.
Well, congratulations. You're in charge. Let me get things situated. I don't know what happened. Everything is, there's no storm or anything that I can. I have to open about 10 different applications to start everything up. And I have to reopen them. All right, I've got Jonah, I've got Luis, I've got Brandon. I lost Mr. Stickley. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. I'm not sure what happened, but there was a power glitch. The lights went dark for a minute and the computer clicked off. At any rate, what I was starting to tell you is the prosecutor used to come to these and we could take care of business right now, but for reasons of their own, they've decided not to do that anymore. The city and village prosecutors still come, but Thursday is all county day. And I don't know if they would make any plea offer or not. Going 85 miles an hour is not a good plan, but I think the wisest thing to do here, Mr. Willard, is to plead not guilty, and I'll set a pretrial so you can talk to the prosecutor. I have a number of those going on this morning. Do you have any objection to that?
I mean, here's the thing, Your Honor. I know that I was speeding. I was on my way to work. My license was suspended, and I had a misunderstanding.
All right, well, wait a minute.
Okay.
I lost Mr. Stickley for a minute. If he were here, he would say, stop, don't say anything else yet.
Okay.
I appreciate your willingness to explain and perhaps enter a plea. I apologize that we can't do this pretrial this morning. When I was elected judge 18 years ago, I went to great effort to set up the instant pretrial process for the convenience of the parties, the defendants and the prosecutor. New prosecutor has a different view of things and doesn't wish to do it. So they may grant you some consideration. Do you have the ability to get your license back?
Right now, I just paid off all of my circuit court fines. And when I had talked to the lady on the phone at the courthouse, I don't know if I misunderstood her or if she just wasn't looking at the right thing, but I was under the impression that that was all I owed. But then when I called to get the Zoom information for this court date, I asked again, and they said that I owed like $900 to district court so I can get my license.
They didn't put anything on my cheat sheet. Let me see. I got kicked out of that application. Let me reopen it.
Okay. Sorry about that, Judge. Everything went down as well. Judge, could you tell me what case number that he's
This
on?
is 211309. Brandon Michael Lee Willard Butita.
Right.
And I've met him before, and oh, darn it. Now that system is down. The whole AS400 is blank. I can't check it. My staff prepares a sheet for me every day as to people that owe us money. She doesn't have your name on here, but I was going to look it up. The bottom line on all this, sir, is the wisest thing to do is just set a pretrial so you can discuss this with the prosecutor.
Okay. My fiance had told me about this, and I don't know if this is even something that can be done or not. I do know that I owe district court. I don't remember exactly how much at this time.
Well, I'd like to tell you if I could get my computer to work, but we got zapped. So we'll try to get that figure.
Okay. I didn't know if there was any way that I'm definitely trying to get my license back. I just moved in with my fiance, so she actually drives me to work. I sold the motorcycle. I had just bought it, but very quickly.
Hey, Brandon, let's kind of put all that on hold there until we get to the pretrial, okay?
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Stickley is the chief public defender, and he is here to look out for the rights of the people that are accused, make sure they don't implicate themselves or say anything that could be used against them until we get the case resolved. I apologize that I'm unable to do the pretrial this morning, but the prosecutor has a different view of it. And so we'll just have to reschedule it. You'll be able to do it again like this by Zoom from work. And the world is changing, and there's a big debate on whether to continue Zoom or not. Mr. Orozco Ramos drove over here to the courthouse. You were able to just take a break from work and hook up by Zoom. Once upon a time, you would have had to leave work, drive over here, wait around for a half an hour for your case to be called, and then have me tell you the prosecutor didn't want to do a pretrial today, and then drive back to work and have to come here on another day. Well, certainly much less of a nuisance. You've been here for a half an hour. Anyway, are you still at M86 in Ottawa?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to send you a new notice. You'll call in by Zoom to a different number for a pretrial. It'll be sometime later this month of July. You can get back to work and get on about your business.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
I thank you. Mr. Bogart, we'll get to you in a minute. Let's do Luis Alberto Orozco Ramos. This is the same situation. It is file 211310ST, charges driving suspended first offense, violation of the basic speed law, and no proof of insurance. Mr. Orozco Ramos, I do appreciate the fact that you've come all the way here from Bronson over here to take care of this, but I don't have a prosecutor because they don't wish to do these pretrials anymore at this time. Have they made any sort of plea offer?
No, they have not. I didn't hear anything.
No, just a minute. I was asking Mr. Stickley. Have they relayed anything to you?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Same thing as the last guy, sir. You probably want to offer some explanation or tell me what happened. I would like to have you have the ability to have a pretrial. This is very frustrating for me, particularly in the fact that you've driven here from Branch County to take care of this, and there's no one to address your case. But I only run my office. I don't run his office, and he has his reasons for wanting to do it the way they're doing it.
Right, it's not your fault.
So I'm going to show a not guilty, and arraignment, need a pretrial. Now, I'm going to give you a time and date for a pretrial. You will be able to hook up by Zoom, but if you can't do that, you'll have to come back over here again. You're certainly welcome to come back over. I apologize. That's why I did this when I did it when I was elected about 19 years ago. All the years as prosecutor, I watched people come in. Judge McManus would set up for a pretrial on a different day, and they had to come all the way back.
Right.
All right, I'm sorry,
No,
but
you're
we'll
fine.
give you the notice. Are you still on Winona Street?
Yes, I am.
In fact, why don't you go out to the counter and we'll see if we can give you a notice of the next date.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you have the ability to get your license back?
I do not.
All right, well, let's see what they're gonna do. The other charge is violation of the basic speed law and no proof of insurance. Those are both civil infractions. The misdemeanor is punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. I'm sorry, but why don't you go out to the counter and they'll give you the time and date to come back. If you don't want to drive all the way back over here, you can call in by Zoom, but I appreciate the fact that you were here in a timely manner.
No problem, sir.
All
You have
right,
a good day.
thank you. Keith, when you were in Hillsdale, did they have a procedure for these?
So, Your Honor, in Hillsdale, they do it a little bit different. When you come in on an arraignment for misdemeanor arraignments, there was a sort of an agreement with the prosecutor that there was generally always a reduction sheet, an amended complaint authorization set along if there was going to be, a reasonable offer made. And at that point they could, so in essence, it was a pretrial by paper, it was an instant pretrial by paper. So you could present the offer.
Kalamazoo does that also. If there's no offer, they say that. If there is an offer, for example, dismiss the civil infraction, plea to the other charge. We probably could have resolved both of these cases. We just did.
Yep.
Now we've got all the rigmarole of setting them back up. The court has to do new notices. It's frustrating. I guess I'll stop venting about it, but it's going to happen again. Mr. Bogart, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
This is Jonah Bogart from East Moline, which is just east of West Moline, 211306. He's from Illinois, and he got charged with driving without a license and no registration plate and no proof of insurance. He's an Illinois driver. He's suspended in Nevada. His plate was expired. Mr. Bogart, I have the same dilemma I have with everyone else this morning. The chief public defender is here. This is the type of case the prosecutor would probably make a plea offer on. But I don't have the ability to do that. So my advice is you plead not guilty and I set a pretrial.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
What do you do out there in Moline?
I work for James Campbell Construction. We do historical reconstruction on old damaged buildings and old historical sites. And we are actually coming into working on a project here in Michigan. And that's why I was given this this truck to use in the meantime, just to get necessary supplies.
Same deal. Don't say any more about it. Now, once upon a time, you would have had to drive all the way in here from Illinois for this arraignment or risk being arrested. So at least now you can dial in. You were the quintessential case why I set up the instant pretrial. You would have driven all the way from here from East Moline. I would have said, well, there's no prosecutor to do a plea offer, so come back. How inconvenient is that? At least now we can do it at least by Zoom.
I absolutely agree. Thank you.
All right. Are you still on 55th Avenue?
I am.
All right. We'll send you a new notice for a Zoom it'll be a different number.
Okay.
Mr. Bogart, you aren't affiliated with a group doing a project in Colon, Michigan, are you? The little village of Colon, Michigan.
No, sir, not whatsoever.
Okay. Just wondering.
All right, he was gonna be really mad if you were, because he lives in Colon, but
No, I was gonna be happy.
they're doing some upgrade in Colon. Anyway, Mr. Bogart, you logged in a timely manner. Your driving record is a little confusing because you got Nevada issues, Illinois issues, maybe even Indiana issues, and you were in Michigan. And your boss gave you a truck with a cracked windshield, which is an invitation to get pulled over. So we'll give you the date, you'll dial in, and we'll do the pretrial at that time. Thank you.
Go Rebels.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Keith, we have a lot of no-shows. I'm still kind of reeling from.
I'm sorry. Am I allowed to hang up now?
Yeah, you're good to go. I'm going to remove you. Let's talk about who isn't here. Tara Lintz. Let's call her.
Someday we should do a no-show. It'd be fun.
What?
We should do a no-show someday. That would be fun.
606. This is a pain in the neck, but it's less of a pain in the neck than it is going through the show cause process and all of that. Laura, could I have some more register of action sheets? This is file 211184. Tara Lynn Lintz is charged with purchasing a pistol without a license. She's free on a $100 bond, and she's not here. So we'll be forced to do an order to show cause first. Next is Brenda McKeague. She is a felony, possession of methamphetamine. I'm not inclined to give her a phone call on a felony charge. She has a Sturgis address. She has posted a PR bond. Same thing, we have to do an order to show cause first. That is 211331. Seems like if you got charged with a felony, you bonded out, they gave you some paperwork at the jail that said you had a court date, that you would show up. But so often with our methamphetamine defendants, they're just not tracking well. All right, then we have Christian Molina from Indianapolis. The Indianapolis is in Indiana. Don't have a phone number. He's got a no ops, and we'll try in order to show cause on that one also. This is disappointing. Matthew Treestrom is charged with driving suspended once again. He has $365 of unpaid fines, and he has the last pretrial set on another no insurance, driving suspended, and another driving expired. So he got charged again with driving suspended and no insurance on June 27th. He posted a $500 cash bond. I'd like to just do a warrant for his arrest, but I'm going to do an order to show cause first because that's what the new statutes require. I had expected a very busy morning this morning. Hi.
Hi, do you have paperwork for?
Yeah, you can have these three. We got a bunch of no-shows. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome. And it's Brandon Willard or Williard, he's got two different spellings and I missed that, so that's his total.
How
Jenny,
much?
Me?
Would you
Feels a
put
lot.
these with Mr. Boutique? Well, the file went down
Yeah.
and I couldn't find it, but he says he owes $900. We need to have that for when he comes next time.
More like 16.
1,600?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll cheer him up. Mr. Treestrom has failed to appear. Please do order to show cause. It's not always great to get charged with a crime while you're on bond for the same crime. And not show up for court. To further compound things, we have a couple of show causes who also haven't shown up. One is Trayvon Batiste from Sturgis. He's charged with aggravated assault. He failed to appear and we did an order to show cause. He posted a $2,000 10% bond.
We have a bunch of people in the hallway.
Oh,
We heard you say no show.
oh,
So there's a bunch of people waiting to use the Zoom room, but we
okay.
have somebody in there right now for pretrial, so.
Okay, well, just put them in here.
You want them in here?
Yeah, they have masks.
Yes.
Let's bring them in one at a time. Yeah, I'd sent a bunch of stuff out as no-shows.
Okay, I will grab it and bring it back in. if
All
they're
right,
here.
well, maybe we better wait.
Okay.
They haven't done everything in here yet. Well, no, let's dive in. Who's here?
I don't remember, we got a bunch of them. I can go,
Well, Jenny's gonna have to bring me those files back.
yeah, I'll go get those for you.
All right. Well, Keith, apparently we've got customers here like once upon a time. I'm gonna have to give them all the bad news that there's no prosecutor to do a pretrial with. Make them come back.
Hold tight.
Apparently someone is in the room doing a pretrial. That's the first I heard of it, that Judge Pattison turned that table upside down in that conference room. I was gonna go turn it up. I don't know why he did that, but it looks bad. There's an upside down table in the background. And I was gonna go turn it right side up. Anyway, let's see what we get. I'm gonna have to widen the camera. Oops.
Wow, you have an old school chalkboard. Look at that.
I'm old school, all right?
Jenny didn't have any arraignments,
Oh,
or no shows, and, they're all here for pretrial.
oh, so I don't have any arraignments that are here.
Right, they're all just pretrial.
All right, then we'll just wait. Yeah, I have a chalkboard, and many times when I was prosecutor, I would draw stuff on it. When I was a young prosecutor, I tried a lot of cases in here in front of Judge McManus, and cops will draw an intersection on it, or it is definitely old school. Nobody's touched it in a year or more. All right, well, apparently we don't have anybody in here they're here for the pre-trials. So let's continue on with what we were doing. This whole courtroom is old school. Everything is vintage 1977, including the avocado colored chairs. But
You're not that old, Judge.
well, I've been here for 42 years.
Don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
We just got word that one of the courts I was practicing in quite a bit in Oakland County decided that after all this technological advance and everything, that they were no longer going to accept appearances by email or fax. It was only in person and by first class mail. So it's making the rounds all over today that we're going to start reinstalling teletype systems in all of our offices and clay tablets that we can engrave our pleadings on and have them.
Well, when I started, everything was on legal size paper. Let 8.5 by 14, and all the files were long. We didn't have a copy machine, and everything was done on a typewriter with carbon paper. And so it sounded like they're going backwards. And we didn't have a fax machine or email. When the cops needed a search warrant, they would call me up in the middle of the night and come to my house, and we would drive to the magistrate's house and wake them up and do a nighttime search warrant. So the world has changed quite a bit since I started. And they usually weren't very happy. One of them was quite grouchy. And anyway, yes, we're all wiser and more technologically savvy. Anyway, we're talking about Trevon Batiste. I don't have a phone number. Failed to appear for order to show cause. I will do a bench warrant. I think I have to even do a 48-hour hold. Bond, $2,000 cash or surety. It is an aggravated assault case. The next one is Stephen Edward Lavador. I know Mr. Lavador. I don't believe he's gone anywhere. He lives out on Highfield Road off Hoffman. He's failed to appear a couple of times in this case. He owes money in another case, file 21194ST. He was supposed to pay $325 by March 31st or do 4 days in jail. He hasn't paid it. Maybe that's why he hasn't shown up. But he is charged with assault and battery, and he has also failed to appear for an order to show cause. Mr. Lavador, if you're out there somewhere, you need to get in here, address this. It may be resolved with a plea. If it can't be resolved, you can get an attorney to help you, but not showing up is not a good plan. Failed to appear for order to show cause for Stephen Edward Lavador. Bond is $2,000. I'm going to make the bond $500 cash for surety. $48 hours. Judge Stutzman told me that he liked the YouTube feed because people would realize there was a bench warrant out for themselves and turn themselves in. I haven't seen that much. Judge Stutzman announced yesterday that he's stopping his YouTube feed. And yesterday was his last day. I guess he made a little video explaining it. I saw that it was up, but I haven't seen it. So at this point, I think I'm the only one here that's still live on YouTube. At any rate, Mr. Lavendor or Mr. Batiste are not here. And they both have bench warrants with a 48-hour hold. Please come in here. I mentioned this yesterday. I don't know if you were on the feed. I was talking with Debbie. We have a terrible inefficiency rate because people don't show up when they're supposed to. If everybody would come in at the time and date designated, we would waste a lot less time. We have about a 20% inefficiency rate. Then we have several other fails to appear here. Tara Lentz, Brenda McKeague, Christian Molina, and Matthew Treestrom. Very frustrating. We've had 6 or 7 cases that were set that didn't show up, not to mention the ones we had to reschedule. We have also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pretrials going on in the parallel world. So Keith, I'll let you go. If somebody comes in for pretrial, I'll send you an email.
Sounds
Or
good.
I don't know if you join in on those. You can sign in on the pretrial side and see what's going on over there. But let me see if I have an email from Matt referring any clients. The good news is they're here in the building. No, don't know anything about any cases in the pipeline. All right, I'm going to leave the feed up, but I'm going to stop the recording and wait and see whether they refer any other cases to me.
Good.
All right, thank you, Keith. I'll let you know if we need anything.
Sounds good.
I guess I'll stop the live feed for the time being until we see what they have.